One thing that I think and talk about quite often is that I feel like this worldview, and unfortunately I see it in the Bitcoin community, and I see it across the world overall, in the United States, I should say, that there's not really this spirit of like helping other people. And when I say that, not like holding a door open for people, but like donating money or time to go help other people. And I feel that that sets people's worldview. So for example, I was on a plane with somebody not that long ago, and we were having this debate, we're sitting next to each other, and he's telling me that he thinks that the government should continue to tax people so they can continue to fund all these programs. And I'm saying we don't need the government to take care of those people. People take care of these people. And he didn't see that. And then I just asked him this question, and it was kind of a personal question. I said, you don't have to answer this question, but I'm just curious. How much of your money, we're in first class, so he's doing good business. I said, how much of your money do you donate to good causes or people? And I said, you don't have to tell me that, but he's like, none. And I was like, do you think that could change your worldview, right? And so we're out there helping. You were down there helping even before Bitcoin. I'm curious your opinion on that and people's worldview and being reflective of their actions.
No, I think, and you see this, not to make it too political, but you do see it a lot of times. It is politically aligned. Like people that are more on the left, they view that as the government should be taking care of people. And there's been lots of studies, they tend to give much less to charity and to be less generous and to do less stuff on their own, where people that tend to be more on the right or more libertarian view it as like, hey, this is my responsibility, not the government's, and I'm going to do it much more efficiently. And so I'm going to give of my own time and my own money. And so I think that for a lot of people, they feel like they can kind of check that box just by voting for somebody that says they want to give money to the poor. They can get it off their conscience. Like, okay, I've done my deed by voting for the person that's going to increase taxes. Of course, they hope it's not on them.
Yeah.
Then they're going to find ways.
Go take from those billionaires and give to them.
They're going to find ways to get around it. And so even the billionaires that you hear that like, oh, no, we should raise taxes, they're still employing an army of people to make sure they're not subjected to those increases in taxes.
Yeah.
And so I think that, I think that that's something that's really important. And I think that's something we need to speak openly about, that like, hey, if you really care for somebody, you should be the one that's out there doing it, making those sacrifices. And I remember even when it comes to immigration thing, you see people that are talking about like, hey, we need to help the immigrants. We need to, it's like, well, how many people do you have in your home?
Right.
What have you done personally?
Yeah.
How are you becoming involved? Like,
Lead
oh,
by
no,
example,
no, the government should do that.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. But what about, a nonprofit that I was working with, our slogan was happy people help others. And so I think any parent recognizes that really the greatest joy you can have is by giving other people joy. And so maybe there's sort of the chicken or the egg almost, in a sense, where like maybe if they went and helped other people, then they would get the joy and realize, wow, that was actually better. And when you rely on the state, you short circuit that whole thing, right? Because like if I help you, I feel really good about that. Yeah. But you also feel really good. Like, wow, this guy helped me, that's amazing. So now both of us get the benefit of that. But if the government steals my money from me, I'm angry. And they give it to you, and now you feel entitled.
Yep.
And so then you take this experience that both people could benefit from, and now both people are angry about.
100%. I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, that is exactly the problem that we face now. And you take that connection, that human connection away, where when people are receiving money from the government, like you said, they become entitled and they become embittered, like, wait, I should be getting more, this isn't fair. But when they see that connection, that somebody's actually sacrificing their hard work to help them, it becomes more real, and they see that they have to have a personal responsibility to respond to that and to try to improve themselves. And so that's what I really think that we need to get back to. And that's why I'm so hopeful about the people in the Bitcoin space, as their resources increase, that they can have a broader impact and go out. And I think we need to challenge people, because the one issue I see with a lot of Bitcoiners, and they have this plan that down the road in 20 years, when their Bitcoin's worth, $20 million a coin or something, then they're going to do something. It's like, no, you're missing all this time in between. Think of all the lives that you can impact. You can't go back in time and change those people's lives. And so I think regardless of the price of Bitcoin, we should be using our personal resources right now.
Yeah, whatever you have,
your
time, your effort, your energy, your focus,
100%.
whatever it is. I mean, we all have something to give, even if it's not money. We've all been given gifts. So we'll just announce it here. I tried to come down and help the community a couple years ago, and it fell through, unfortunately. But I am planning a trip to go down there and do some serving opportunities just directly into the community. We'll bring a small amount of people with us. If you're interested in getting down to the community, learning about that, learning about what's going on in Bitcoin, but more importantly, giving back to the community, we'll put a link down in the description down below if you want to fill out that form. It's going to be a small group. We'll be doing trips down there to El Salvador. If you want to come hang out with us, let me know in there.